Hello everyone, my name is Lisa, and today I'm bringing you a wrap-up of the past 3 days of BookTubeAthon. I have not had time to record recently, so I'm kind of just clumping everything together. On day 3, I read Volume 3 of Gotham Academy Yearbook. This was a really fun volume that kind of went back through some mini-stories that happened during the year that we didn't get to see in previous volumes of this comic. The other thing I did on day 3 was get about halfway through Pretty Little Mistakes. It's kind of hard to determine how far exactly because this is an adult choose-your-own-adventure where you're trying to make choices about where your life goes, so it's a lot of flipping back and forth through different options. But I got about halfway through this on day 3. For day 4, I did the rest of Pretty Little Mistakes. I'm not 100% sure that I found all 150 endings, but I'm pretty sure I did. I felt kind of ambivalent about this book. I really loved the idea, but a lot of the time the choices that were given led back to the same ending, or nothing was very adventurous necessarily, and there were a lot of times that you weren't given a choice that I feel like you should have been. A lot of times in regards to taking drugs. You just took them and you didn't get to choose whether you did or not. I will say that this did have some inclusion, which was nice. There is an option to be a lesbian. You're always a girl, though, in this whole book. So most of the time you're ending up with a guy. I want to say there's probably 5 or 6 different male romances, and there's only one female romance. But there is the choice that you can actually end up happy with the female, which is a nice change of pace from a lot of queer stories. But there is one ending that I loved in this book, and it was you ended up pregnant by this guy who left you at the altar, and you leave the wedding in tears. You are in Italy, and you run into a church, and this nun speaks with you, and you tell them the whole story, and you've seen this guy with another woman, and they go and take him out of this restaurant where he's on a date with this other woman and drag him out, and basically the nuns drag him out into an alley and beat him to death. You then join this clan of secret assassin nuns, and you go off to a school and train and learn how to become an assassin nun. And that ending was pretty awesome. But a lot of the other ones are like, you end up in this abusive relationship, or you become a drug dealer, or you potentially are married to someone in the mafia and your life is great, but you never really know the truth. Things like that. So it was interesting that in a choose your own adventure, like, you never bungee jump or jump out of a plane or anything that would have been really obvious for a way to die. But anyway, so I have kind of mixed feelings on this because a lot of the endings were the same or were really unfulfilling, which I guess can be life too. But when you're doing a whole book about choosing your own adventure and having different endings, I would have liked to see it more variety. On day 4, I also read In Real Life by Cory Doctorow and Jen Wang. This is a graphic novel about a girl who is pretty shy in real life and doesn't have a whole lot of friends, but makes friends through an online video game, and then meets a Chinese gold farmer and learns more about his life and his circumstances, and just kind of talks about friendship and recognizing that your life is not necessarily the same as anyone else's. So it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think I gave this 4 stars. On day 4, I also read 33 pages of Unfuck Your Habitat by Rachel Hoffman. This is a book about getting yourself clean and organized, and on day 5 I read about 60 more pages of this book, and that was the only thing I read yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty unproductive reading day for me. But this book is not necessarily like other self-help books, which I appreciate. It does give you some good tips. It does unfortunately repeat itself a lot and kind of really drills the point home. And maybe that's what some people need, but to me it was a little bit frustrating. But what I did like about this is that it also does not assume that you are in peak shape. It talks about, hey, modify these tips as you need to because you have physical disabilities or you have mental illness or things like that. So it was really good to have recognition that not everyone is an able-bodied and well-minded person. I did end up finishing this today, spoiling a little bit of day 6, but also I'm not going to talk about this again in my next video. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I love the idea of 2010s, which is you do 20 minutes of work and then you take a 10-minute break, which is, I'm sure, not a mind-blowing theory, but I am very much a person that I either do all or nothing. I have to either marathon clean or I just stare at things in horror and don't clean anything. So that's my wrap up for days 3, 4, and 5 for BookTubeAthon. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye!